64 games, 172 goals, 3.4 million watching in attendance in Qatar, and billions watching worldwide. However, this is the only team of the tournament list you need to be watching right now. And if you haven't already, please can you go and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all the subscriptions I do get. Welcome to the channel. My name is Dan Bancroft, and we're going to go right into it, starting with the goalkeeper. Now, obviously, there's got to be a couple of goalkeepers that need to have a shout out. Bono from Morocco being the main one, and Szczesny in a poor Poland team. However, I've gone for Dominik Livakovic from Croatia. Livakovic prevented 3.5 goals according to XG, the most in the tournament in 2022, while the Croat also made the most saves in this edition of the competition with 25. In addition to this, he also saved the record equaling 4 shootout penalties in a single edition of the World Cup. And for that reason and that reason alone, as well as the other two I said, he has to go in my team. Next up is the right back, and there's a couple of shout outs that I need to say beforehand. Dumfries for Netherlands, as well as Juranovic from the Croatia team. However, I've gone for Ashraf Hakimi of Morocco. Hakimi made a tournament high of 26 tackles, helping Morocco to their first ever semi-final and making it Africa's first ever semi-final as well as that audacious chip. Never forget that audacious chip in the round of 16. Such an iconic moment, such a glorious moment, and that alone means that he has to be in my team of the tournament. Going on to left back, and this one seems to be the easiest one going. This is Theo Hernandez. There are a couple of players from Argentina, Acuna and Tagliafico, who could have made it into the squad. However, they were rotation players. Theo Hernandez created more goal-scoring chances for the teammates in this World Cup than any other defender with 11, including a joint tournament high for defenders with 2 assists. And let's not forget, he was a substitute in that first game against Australia, coming on for his brother who came out injured with an ACL. So to pull out them numbers is incredible alone, never mind missing a game. The first of 2 centre-backs is Romain Saiz of Morocco. Now, this is my second of 3 Morocco players, just to give you a little bit of a hint for who I'm going to pick next. Romain Saiz won 100% of his aerial duels, and for a team that's not conceded many goals just before the France game, to have 100% of your aerial duels to not have much of the ball is an incredible stat. And for that stat alone, he deserves to be in this team. The likes of Varane and Konate are just about left out for this next player as well. And the most obvious pick that I've made as a centre-back is Josko Gvardiol to be next to Romain Saiz of Croatia. Gvardiol made more clearances than any other player in Qatar with 37, registering more carries than any other player, 202, and won more possession more often than any other defender, 48 times. The only negative I could have against Gvardiol, because he was a rock at the back, was that one game against Messi. But like we say, it's against Messi, the greatest of all time. Nobody's going to be performing well against him, especially the way he's been playing in this tournament. So that's why Gvardiol is in my team. My first of 3 centre midfield picks is Sofiane Amrabat of Morocco, an obvious pick. Coming into this World Cup as a bit of an unknown with Fiorentina, Sofiane Amrabat will come out of it with many Premier League teams linked with him. 87% accuracy, 33 recoveries, 6 interceptions, which is the most against the World Cup. And to tie it up in a nice little bow was the challenge against Kylian Mbappe, one of his 33 recoveries, and that was a perfect challenge, a team of the tournament pick that many will have. The second pick of my 3 is Antoine Griezmann of France. In a sort of new role for him, Antoine Griezmann created more chances, 22, and accumulated a higher expected assist total, 3.6, than any other player in the 22 World Cup. A very underrated player in this World Cup, a player in which the France system really worked for him. And I think that he should be going forward in this new position for Atletico Madrid. And he, for that stat alone, will be in my team. The final of 3 centre midfield picks, which I will choose in this World Cup team of the tournament, is Aurelien Tchouameni. Tchouameni have made more interceptions than any other player in the 22 World Cup with 14, while he also completed 91% of his passes in the tournament with 425 in 468. Obviously, there are a couple of honourable mentions. Like I said, Modric, Rodrigo de Paul, Tyler Adams as a CDM role, Bellingham, obviously, Ohani, and as well as Enzo Fernandez, a player who will be a massive player in years to come for Benfica, but not quite making it in my team. So I've got Amrabat, Griezmann, and Aurelien Tchouameni. Going on to the wingers now, and these seem like the obvious picks of team of the tournament for this World Cup. If you watch the World Cup final alone, you'll know which 2 I'm picking. It is Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. No players mustered up as many shots, 32, created as many open play chances, 17, assisted more goals, 3, or had as many fouls, 22, at the 22 World Cup than Lionel Messi. That alone, as well as captaining his side and scoring 2 in the final to lift the World Cup trophy, means that he will be a guarantee in anybody's team in the tournament, and I'd be very surprised if he's not, as well as this next man that we'll be speaking about right now. With Mbappe, he scored more goals with 8, completed more dribbles with 25, and had more touches in the opposition box with 69 than any other player in the 22 World Cup, as well as the hat-trick in the final, scoring the penalty as well in the shootout. He couldn't have done anything else to help this French squad. And I believe that in years to come, he will break more records than he's already been doing. He's only 3 away from closest record of 15 in competitions, in World Cups, and he's only at the age of 24. This is incredible. I cannot believe how many broken records he has achieved in his short career so far with PSG, with France, and with Messi. This has to be the obvious choice. And obviously there are the honourable mentions of Bukayo Saka of England, who should have been man of the match against France, and Ziyech from Morocco, showing his real quality and his real potential with Morocco, something he hasn't seemed to have found in the Premier League. And last but not least, we'll go for the striker role. I could have picked the honourable mentions of Giroud and Gakpo, but this player I've gone for Julian Alvarez of Argentina. Alvarez is only the second Argentinian to have scored as many as 4 goals in a single edition of the World Cup aged 23 or younger, after Gonzalo Higuain in 2010. At 22 and 316 days old, Alvarez also became the youngest brace scorer in the World Cup semi-final since Pele scored a hat-trick in the 1958 World Cup. Now, this one was probably the hardest, as well as the centre-backs. Obviously, Giroud scored many goals and was a key component in that France team, but I feel like Alvarez had a bit more impact, a bit more sustenance about him, and a bit more depth about his play, and that is why he's in my team. So that is my team. Obviously, I will go from top to bottom. Livakovic, Hakimi, Gvardiol, Saiss, Hernandez, Amrabat, Griezmann, Tchouameni, Mbappe, Alvarez, and Messi. Now, if there's any people that I've missed out, please let me know. If there's anybody that I've even not mentioned in my honourable mentions, please let me know below. This is a bit more of a different style of video that I will be making in future, a bit more quicker, a bit more stat-based. And let me know in the comments below if you got anybody that you disagree with, anybody that I've not mentioned, like I did say. If you haven't already, please can you go and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all the subscriptions I've been getting. And please can you go and like and comment below, like I just said. So I will see you all very soon. And that is the Qatar World Cup concluded. Peace, guys.